All right.
But, let me do a little intro, and then I'll let you. I'll introduce you, and then you can basically just tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll just get started from there, if that's cool.
Sounds great.
All right, give me a second here. All right, hello everybody. This is Craig with the Unbeaten Path, and today we have the president of the St. Louis chapter of the Proud Boys, and hopefully we're going to get some stuff cleared up around here. So anyway, we have Mike Lassiter here, president, and if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be really great.
Sure. Well, yeah, my name's Mike Lassiter. I'm the president of the St. Louis Proud Boys and a dissident right political activist. I started this Proud Boy chapter back in 2017, November 2017, and we've been growing ever since, and growing a lot, especially recently. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to seeing where things go with it.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on, Craig.
Hey, no problems. Thank you for coming on. So
Glad to be here.
All right. So okay, in your words, what does what do the Proud Boys mean to you?
Well, they mean brotherhood. There's a lot of misconceptions about what the Proud Boys are in the media and elsewhere, but we're truly just a brotherhood, a fraternity in the classical sense, and it's a brotherhood where you can go anywhere in the entire country and even several places across the world, and have like-minded people that will take you into their home and that you'll have a great time with, and have a heck of a lot of beers with.
I hear you.
So, at the end of the day, we're a drinking club.
There you go.
And, when we talk about us just being a drinking club, people are like, yeah, but there's something else to it, right? It's like, no, we're really just a drinking club. We really just, the main part of the Proud Boys is getting together at least once a month with your brothers and having beers. And that's what it's about.
All right.
But there's also, of course, the element that we believe the West is the best. Those are the only two requirements of joining the organization, is that you are a man and you believe the West is the best.
And what do you mean by the West is the best? I think that's one of the up and coming questions, but
yeah, well, it's the Western culture gets a lot of flack, because we were mean to Black people 200 years ago, and the West didn't invent slavery; it abolished slavery. The West gave us every great modern achievement. Gave us running water, gave us beautiful art, music, symphonies. There's so much to appreciate about the West, and that people on the political left these days just seem to want to tear everything down.
Absolutely.
The West is worth preserving, that it's beautiful, and that it's the best.
Okay. All right. Very good. Yeah. Now in your organization, I mean, obviously it's broke down into your federal, if you will, or national, I guess, your hierarchy, and then it breaks down into several chapters. Okay. Now, are you mandated by the federal or the national? I keep saying federal, but like national, are you guys mandated to like do anything by that hierarchy?
No. We have local chapters that all have presidents, and then we have a chat where all the presidents communicate with each other, and that's where most of the decisions are made. We do have, I think it's something like 8 elders, and then a chairman that's elected by the elders, and there's very little that they actually do. Things really just get kicked to them if something can't be settled by the presidents just communicating with each other.
Oh,
So chapter autonomy is a very respected and cherished thing within the Proud Boys. Chapters are able to do as they wish, with very, very, very few exceptions.
okay. All right. Now, speaking of the elders or the national level, now with Gavin McGinnis, do you know him? Have you met him?
I do. I wouldn't say we're close or anything, but I've hung out with him several times. Talked to him
Wow.
one-on-one plenty. Text with him once in a blue moon. Yeah, he's a character. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. Can be kind of a dick sometimes, but
Okay.
but he's a very very passionate guy, very funny guy, and very dedicated to saving this country and saving the West.
Okay. All right. Now is he still part of the Proud Boys?
Not in any official capacity. He's certainly not involved in the leadership of the Proud Boys in any way. He's not in one of the elders. He's not the chairman. I don't believe he's in any leadership positions in the New York chapter. I don't know if he's even an official member of the New York chapter. I think I think the best way to describe it is that he's still like socially involved with the Proud Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll occasionally come to some events, and we'll see him there. But he left the organization to try to, because his lawyer told him that I never really understood this, but his lawyer told him that it could somehow, that him stepping down from the organization could somehow result in a lighter sentence for the New York Nine, these guys who were attacked by Proud Boys, who were attacked by Antifa, defended themselves, and 9 of them ended up with charges as a result.
Okay.
I don't know if it worked or not. I guess we'll never know. But what I do know is that 2 of them, Max Hare and John Kinsman Jr., are serving 4-year prison sentences respectively for gang violence.
Oh, wow.
Truly just for defending themselves. Antifa had circled the block, threw a bottle at them and charged at them, and they defended themselves effectively. But yeah, it wasn't even gang violence. It was attempted gang assault was the charge that each of them got. And
really?
Both of them are doing 4 years. John Kinsman Jr., guy's got a black wife and beautiful family. I think he has 3 half black children with his wife. Her name's Liberty. Is that his wife's name? I'm bugging it. I can't remember if his wife is Liberty or if his daughter is Liberty. Because Gavin's got an organization, justiceforliberty.com.
Oh, okay.
Where people can donate and help his family with get through these tough times.
Okay.
But what's so egregious about it is that the guy he's got a black wife and black children, and he is painted by the media. They even, I forget which outlet it was, but one of them had the audacity to take a picture of him at, I believe, the reading of the verdict, where he was shooing away the media. Get away, leave me alone. And they caught him, doing a.
Oh no!
They caught him mid-wave, where it looked like he was doing a Roman salute. And that's the picture they show of him, not the picture of him with his black wife and black children.
Oh my goodness!
It's just disgusting. It's egregious the way the media has treated Max and John and the Proud Boys in general.
Oh my goodness! So I mean, well, this is going to be really kind of a goofy question, but I mean, do you know what Mr. McInnes his take on the corporate media making the Proud Boys into a hate group?
Yeah, he's litigious. He's quick to sue people
Good.
for putting out false information, or at least issue what lawyers call nasty grams
Hmm.
to try to get retractions printed. And that's often successful, but not even of that much value because people only read articles when they first come out, typically. So
Right.
rarely do people actually see the corrections. And that's the game that the media plays. You know, they lie all they want because then they can issue a retraction later that nobody sees, and then they're able to get out that false message that they printed in the first place. It's
Wow.
awful.
Yes, it is. It is. And I've done a little bit of research, and as I was going through a lot of the different chapters of the Proud Boys and stuff like that, I found pictures of people of mixed nationalities. I mean, members of the Proud Boys,
Oh,
and which
absolutely. I would go so far as to say that minorities are overrepresented in the Proud Boys compared to their percentages in the general population.
that is insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
our chairman is Enrique Tarrio. He's an Afro-Cuban gentleman. We have chapters that are in California in particular that are majority Hispanic. I met at our recent national gathering. I met a black paraplegic guy. You know, I always joke that we look like the Burger King Kids Club.
oh no.
That's how diverse we are.
Outstanding. Heck yeah. So I mean, what do you think? What do you think the corporate media is? What do you think they have to gain by saying, "Hey, the Proud Boys are like a white supremacist extreme, extreme group"? I mean, what is the end game here?
I think the end game is advancing a leftist agenda in this country. I don't think it's even just about the business of media. I don't think it's about just getting clicks even. I think it's about advancing their leftist agenda. I think the Proud Boys are a real threat to them, to their narrative, because there's been this concerted effort to paint America and the right in particular as racists and white supremacists, and I think the Proud Boys represent the biggest cultural threat to the cultural hegemony, excuse me, of the
No, no
left.
problem. Wow.
Because of how diverse we are, because we have so many who are preaching the same message as any of us, and the unity that we have, the brotherhood that we have, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of sexual orientation. It presents a massive challenge to the way that the left attempts to paint the right, and that can't be allowed to stand, and they won't allow it to stand, and so they do everything they can to pillory us. But I think it has a reverse effect of sorts, because people can only be manipulated so much, can only be fed so much BS before they start to smell it. And when people look at pictures of us, when they're trying to call us a white supremacist group, or they see pictures of us with blacks and Latinos and Jews, and it just destroys their narrative, and people see that and they realize, like, oh, I'm being lied to. And that could be the thing that red pills somebody in the first place. That could be the first thing that brings somebody to start questioning everything that they're being fed. And great. I mean,
Yeah.
I would gladly be painted as a villain if the end result is more people being brought to our side.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's that right there in a nutshell was, a bombshell. I mean, really, because I mean, I've been here extremely lately. You mentioned the red pill, which is really weird because I do a lot of social media, and I actually put that where Lawrence Fishburne is holding both pills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's up on my storyline on the thing, and it was about Kennedy had said like stuff like what ask not what you can do for your or ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I'm like, think about it, and I've got Lawrence Fishburne holding both pills because I mean, not only with the Proud Boys, but like the whole COVID issue
Oh,
is
absolutely.
driving me nuts, man. I mean, it's
That's
yeah.
one thing. We're a very politically diverse organization. You know, we have guys who are neoconservatives. We have guys who are libertarians,
Okay.
anarcho-capitalists, guys who are more on the dissident right, like myself. But one thing I think we all agree on in the Proud Boys is that the masks and the lockdowns and the virus, the the seriousness with which this virus is being painted are all a bunch of crap. So
Yeah, yeah.
so we're all, I think, in agreement on that. And my vice president, the vice president of my chapter, Alex Furman, who's running for Congress in Missouri's first congressional district, um, he and his lady, Adriana DiCiaccio, are putting on an event here in St. Louis on October 24th, a Reopen America event, a rally of sorts to try to, get the message out that it's time to end these shutdowns. It's time to end these mask mandates. It's time for America to reopen and for people to get their lives back and their livelihoods back.
So if somebody wanted to look into this and maybe attend, where would they be able to go?
They can go to demandfreespeech.org. That's Adriana DiCiaccio's organization.
Okay.
And the event's listed on there.
Okay.
They could get information there, and we'll be promoting it heavily within the coming weeks.
Great. Man, more power to you. I'm unfortunately, I definitely can't go. I've had a bit of surgery on my foot, so I'm kind of chair bound. Oh my goodness, yeah. So it's a mess. But you did know, mention about all your the diversity inside your organization and everything like that. Now, here just about a week or well, maybe 2 weeks ago, the ADL, which is Anti-Defamation League, which I guess one of their spokespersons, David Goldberg, basically just came out. Oh, well, it was right after Trump's debate. Yeah. And yeah,
that was huge. That was huge for us, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We went from getting we were getting about maybe an inquiry or two a month to getting literally hundreds of inquiries.
Good.
It's been an absolute boon for us, despite the president's condemnation of our organization.
Actually, now the way I took it, because I wanted to see that debate really bad. I wanted to see Biden trip up, but but no, when he said that, they asked him to condemn all hate groups. And specifically, they said the Proud Boys, and he would never mention the Proud Boys name.
No, he did it. He said, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by."
Yeah,
and it was cool. We made some one. I forget what outlet it was, but somebody said that Proud Boys attempted to rebrand with with the new logo and all that. It's like, no, we just made some T-shirts.
Yeah,
it's so funny, like seeing how the sausage is made with the media. When you are the story, you start to see just how much BS they're feeding you.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been wild, but he didn't condemn us during the debate, which was very exciting for us. And man, we were just we here in St. Louis, we had a watch party at my house for that with the chapter, and we all were like, we were all drinking, and so we were talking over each other, and one of us heard and was like, he said Proud Boys. And we're like, no, he didn't. And like, we backed it up and like, whoa, holy cow. But then he followed it up a few days later, went on Hannity and condemned the Proud Boys.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Well,
Oh.
he like first he said he didn't know much about us, and then later he said he condemned us, and you know, I
That's politics, man.
but you know,
Yeah,
it's an election year, and it's you know, the narrative, the media has done such a good job of painting us as some kind of hate group that I don't blame Trump for throwing us under the bus right now. If that's what he has to do to get reelected, fine. It doesn't change anything about what we do as an organization. We're not, we're mostly a pro-Trump organization. Like I said, we got a lot of libertarian guys. We got some guys who voted for Gary Johnson last time around.
I did too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it is what it is. We still love Trump. And I hope he'll come around following the election.
I think so. Absolutely. I mean, because
I know you mentioned the ADL. Yeah, they and the SPLC
yes,
spread a lot of misinformation about us. Most of what they do is guilt by association, attempting to paint us as white nationalists, pointing to like former members that ended up being white nationalists later. It's like that's the best they can do. When you read that, people read that and kind of take their word for it because they sound like experts. But then if you really think about it and you look at what you're reading, you notice that everything they're doing is just guilt by association, and it's all a stretch, a complex web to try to paint us as a hate group. And we're just who do we hate is the real question. They never explain who we hate. The best that I've seen them muster up is that like some of us have made that we're like an anti-Islam group, and the most that any of us have ever done. We don't make statements as a group. As I said, we're a very politically diverse organization. We have Muslim Proud Boys. Muslims are perfectly welcome in the Proud Boys. They point to like things that Gavin said about, he's railed against Islam because of Islam's illiberal treatment of women in Muslim majority countries, and treatment of gays in Muslim majority countries. So I mean that's the kind of stuff they point to, but we don't hate Muslims, we don't hate anybody. We're just we talk about policy. We talk about with certain things and what we think should be done about them, and that's not hate. It's very different from hate.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's now when the corporate media, and when they're out there spewing this narrative, if you will, when they mention the Proud Boys, of course they're always going to associate them with the KKK, the neo-Nazis, the skinheads, known hate groups. But they never truly come out and say, hey, the Proud Boys this. No, but they'll associate, like you said, it's a guilt by association.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why do they not, in your opinion, why do they not put Antifa in with that? I mean,
because they like Antifa. Antifa is working toward the same goals as they are.
Yeah.
I wish that the right would defend, not the right, but the Republican Party. I wish the Republican Party, I wish Fox News would defend the Proud Boys with the same fervor that the leftist media defends Antifa.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah.
We get some fair coverage from certain outlets, Breitbart, VDare. There's some groups, some outlets on the right who are very fair to the Proud Boys, but
good.
But the ones that you're going to see on cable news, I couldn't say that OAN or Newsmax. I don't know what they've said about us. I know Newsmax has Michelle Malkin, who is very pro Proud Boys.
Okay.
Pro Proud Boys. So I'll give them a pass. But Fox News has done us no favors. And they're, I mean, I could go on all day about them. Tucker is the one guy on there that's really speaking truth. Their daytime programming skews quite a bit to the left. Not as much as the other outlets, but as the younger Murdochs have taken more control of Fox News, they're elitist socialite New Yorkers, so I think that has something to do with it.
With strong ties to a certain political party. Yeah. And yeah. So, okay, real quick, on September 3rd, the King Louis statue was taken down, or was involved in the taking down. What was the Proud Boys' involvement with this? Because I believe you were there, right?
That was like a more minor King Louis statue in St. Louis. The one that we really care about. I mean, we don't want to see that happen to any of our statues. It's just political laziness. They're just appeasing the left instead of using the resources of the police to protect our heritage, protect our city's history. But to their credit, they haven't taken down what we really care about here in St. Louis, which is this huge, glorious statue of King St. Louis on a horse, and that's atop Art Hill in Forest Park at the site of the 1904 World's Fair.
Okay.
That's the one that really resonates with people. That's the one that it's been really cool to see actually as controversy has boiled around it. Trad Catholics have started going there nightly to go pray at the statue. And
Wow.
So it's been pretty cool, and I've had the opportunity to go to a couple of those. And I mean, I'm not Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, and my dad's family was Catholic, but I was raised Presbyterian. But still, I have a lot of respect for the Catholics, especially the really traditional ones, and I have nothing but respect. It's so cool seeing these people go there and pray at the statue. Even under threat of violence from Antifa and Black Lives Matter and these left-wing agitators who show up there. Well, I went to one statue protest along with Luke Rolfing, who's a Proud Boy, former elder, and he's a writer for Big League Politics as well.
Okay.
We went to an event there that Jim Hoft of the Gateway Pundit put on, and that involved Catholic prayer as well, and that had heavy opposition. People didn't recognize me because I had shaved my mustache at the time. I was clean shaven.
Oh wow!
They saw my Proud Boys, my Proud Boy tattoo. So they're like, "Oh, you're Mike Lassiter." Sticking a camera like 3 inches from my face.
Oh no!
I was like, this is a religious thing, so I'm not gonna smack the phone out of their hand or something. So I'm like trying to keep it cool and not tell them to go fuck themselves or anything. But it was wild. Just seeing the vitriol, the hate in these people just for no reason when just coming and screaming and blasting. That black gay guy, I don't know if I could call him gay because he's I forget his name, but he was in this viral video at like a black mega church where he's saying, "I'm not gay no more. I am delivered." and that guy was there, and he was just blasting an air horn at us, and just at these people praying, and they're just praying right through it, and that's all they're doing. They're not yelling at the counter protesters or anything. They're just there to pray. And we left, and they followed us. We had parked we had parked quite a ways away, and I realized, like, I told Luke, like, hey, we cannot walk back to our car because like they will mob up on us and attack us, so we got to find a different way. So some and they were even
Oh
mobbing
my
up
gosh.
on everybody going to the closest parking lot. So I asked just some nice Catholic strangers there, like, hey, can you give us a ride back to our car? And they were nice enough to do that for us. And sure enough, after we left, two conservative stragglers that got separated from the rest of the group got beaten up by the mob. So
Now, and
they like, I mean, as Proud Boys, we're no strangers to we're not afraid of a fight, but I mean, two of us, we're not action movie stars,
there you
two
go.
of us aren't going to be able to fight off a mob of,
Now, what
12 to 20 people. So
because the two members were assaulted, was law enforcement involved? As far as, I mean, did they find out who did the assault? And I mean,
frankly, I don't know. I don't know what came of that. I don't know if there were charges filed.
are they okay?
But I mean, but it was, yeah, they were all right.
Okay.
It wasn't Proud Boys or anything. It was just two people who showed up to that protest who, just got beaten up by the crowd.
Ouch.
They will do that. They you know, you don't want to be in the extreme minority in terms of numbers with those people, because they won't do anything when there's a crowd of you. They'll just yell at you, but they won't really attack you when there's a big crowd of you. But boy, they'll attack you when it's 12 on 1 in a heartbeat.
Now,
So
okay,
the kind of people they are,
right. So, I mean, when those people are there and you guys are doing a protest, for whatever, what is the general atmosphere as far as the crowds go? I mean, is it anti Proud Boy? Is it, oh, you're white, we're going to beat you up? Or is it there's Antifa, let's go get them? I mean, what is the whole general?
Yeah, mostly most events that the Proud Boys put on or attend stay mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful. But I mean, truly, it's rare that you end up with a physical altercation when the Proud Boys en masse, because it's a bunch of masculine dudes, a lot of them really big and muscular, and other people are afraid of getting the crap beaten out of them. Like I said, the only they won't attempt a fair fight. They only attempt to attack us quickly and run away, or things of that nature. And when there's enough of us, they usually just yell at us, and that's about it. But there's some viral videos out there. Rufio, he's a guy from the Pacific Northwest, Proud Boy from the Pacific Northwest. He there's a great video of him knocking out some guy who tried to attack him with a baton, collapsible baton. This guy like swings on him twice. He catches the baton twice, and then like comes in with this. It's like the weirdest punch I've ever seen. It's this very cartoony wind up, and then just socks the guy clean out in one punch. And he's a great guy. I've spent some time with him at national events, and just the nicest guy. The guy's a teddy bear, but he's huge. I mean, just enormously jacked.
Oh, no, is that? I've seen a lot of pictures. Now, is he like looks like 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, he's pretty
kind of
tall. He's not.
okay.
There's one
Bearded.
guy who's no longer a Proud Boy, who's like, you'll see towering over everybody else, the blonde guy. That's not him. He's no longer involved in the organization. We cut ties with him, but Rufio is he's almost as tall and just big burly dude, big beard. He's always wearing a white MAGA hat backwards.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now my son, he does a podcast. It's called Biting the Bullet. Now they're veteran libertarians, and they classify as ANCAPs. So, but now he was telling me that he had seen a video where a black guy had come up and, hey, let's go see what the Proud Boys. He's on his phone. Let's go see what the Proud Boys are about. Blah blah blah. Walks up, and he's like, trying to start a little bit of stuff. Not bad, but they're like, oh yeah, hey man, cool, come on, here, you need a water or anything? He lives out in Phoenix, and I mean, it's he said, he goes, he just couldn't believe it, that the Proud Boys had such a name, through the media, but a guy comes up trying to stir up some stuff, and they're like, hey, okay, cool, it's hot here, have a water, man. And I mean, so it was like really, that atmosphere was like really chill. And, yeah.
I mean, these guys the Proud Boys are, we're not zealots. We're just a bunch of mostly working class dudes who, who joined to just for brotherhood, to have beers with like-minded people. And that atmosphere carries over to everything we do. That's the kind of vibe. And people are often surprised by that when they meet us. But yeah, it's like I said, people think that there's some nefarious thing underneath it all, but we're really just a drinking club. What
Right.
You see with us is what you get.
I mean, that is, I mean, and like I said, I've done a little bit of research. Of course, I'm not, any type of detective or sleuth or anything like that. But, from what I can find out there, I mean, the media is literally lying to people.
Absolutely.
I
Blatant
mean,
lies, not
yeah.
just like a misunderstanding, but just lying about us. It's, it reeks of desperation. They see that the culture war that they thought they had completely won and had for a time, frankly, that the culture war is back on and we're making gains. I mean, it started, it resulted in Trump winning in 2016 and it resulted in the Proud Boys and as Andrew Breitbart used to say, politics is downstream of culture. And we represent a shift in the culture, and that terrifies the media. Because they're members of the political and cultural left, and we are a threat to their hegemony. And so they can't win on the truth. I mean, they could, I think I tweeted about this recently that, the media could attack the Proud Boys for being pro-life or for being for any number of things that are actually true, just because we're, on the political right, typically speaking. But they don't, they because they can't win with that. Those are messages. The things that Proud Boys believe are pretty mainstream. They're in line with what most rural Americans would believe. Anyone outside of the cosmopolitan cities in this country.
Okay.
That's what we believe is not radical. Some of it leans a little bit left of the Republican Party. We support drug legalization. Most of us do, and so it's. I think we're cool. We're kind of cool. We make the right look kind of cool, and they can't have that. They want to dominate cool, and they can't even do that anymore because they're so crippled by political correctness that the left can't muster up any cool factor anymore. And
well,
so
yeah.
So of course they're going to lie about us.
Now, yeah, where do you see this going? I mean, as like in 5 years, to if you could look into the future and see where would you like to be at in 5 years with this?
Well, I'd like to see our chapter grow. I'd like to see the organization grow. I think it will. I mean, what we found from the debate is that as soon as people hear about us, um, people get interested in us, and so just getting the word out, getting our name to become more of a household name is going to result in increases in membership. And what we'll probably do in St. Louis is maybe spin off some other chapters. We did that once already with the Southern Illinois chapter that was started by our former sergeant at arms. So we'll probably, I'd like to see a chapter in every county across the country. Uh, it's there's a real hole left by organizations like the Rotary Club and Kiwanis and other groups that went from being men's only fraternities
Hmm.
to letting in women because that's what you do now. And there's not a lot of spaces for men to just be men and just
Oh.
be only with other men. Yeah, it sounds gay. There's a lot. Believe me, like that reminds me. There was recently a hashtag going or hashtag ProudBoys, like the gay groups were trying to they were showing like pictures of dudes kissing each other and stuff and gay pride parades and saying Proud Boy, these are the real Proud Boys, and they have no idea how much of this whole thing is like a big gay joke. I mean, we're named after an Aladdin song, Proud of Your Boy. It was a song cut from the movie that was later added into the musical. It's just this gay little musical number. I mean, the whole thing is just tongue-in-cheek. Organization. I mean, it's we all care about it deeply and take it seriously, but it's also like the whole thing's pretty tongue-in-cheek as well. It's the whole thing's a big joke too.
Right.
And
Right.
and people don't get that. I mean, like when the RFT, our local leftist culture rag, they did a piece on our chapter and they
The
took some pictures
riverfront.
of me. Riverfront Times, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Pictures of, and I'm wearing my Fred Perry, which is what we all wear, but I was wearing a top hat, and had a big, twiddly mustache, and people post that picture as like a gotcha to me all the time, and it's like, dude, it's a joke. Like I'm like, it's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. Like you guys, the left just like they're so humorless. They have such a ability to do anything but take themselves seriously, smell their own farts. They can't take a fucking joke.
Oh man.
It's ridiculous.
Well, okay. Now,
We're having fun with it.
oh
Nobody's
heck
having
yeah.
more fun than us.
Good. Good. So, I mean, if you have a thought or a message you'd like to leave everybody with, I mean, hopefully we get to, people out there, get them realizing, hey, the media is lying to you.
Mm.
And, this group isn't like, something, terrible that we have to be afraid of. And, I mean, put the shirts back on the market type thing.
Mm.
And what kind of message would you like to leave everybody with? I mean,
Well, I tell people, if you're on the right, go meet your local chapter. I mean, like a lot of the guys that we get are guys who have just come out as conservative to their friends and family, and have maybe lost a lot of people in their lives and are looking to fill that hole with brotherhood. And it's if that's what's happened to you, or if you're just you know, or even if you still have a bunch of leftist friends, or even if you have friends on the right, you know, all your friends are already on the right, you know, come meet your local chapter. There's you'll never experience greater brotherhood than you will in this organization. I've gone all over the country, met chapters all over the country. I've met chapters from all over the world, and I've never met nicer people. You know, it's like everybody you meet, it's like you've known them forever, because there's just this shared bond of brotherhood. And that's something that used to be so common in our country and across the West. The fraternal bond between men, and we've brought it back. If you want to experience like a piece of what your grandparents got to experience, like, hit up your local chapter. Go to ProudBoysUSA.com, find your local chapter on there, and contact them. You won't regret it. You will have a great time with great people.
Perfect. Perfect. And I was just going to ask you, I just made some notes about how to, you know, find the local chapters and stuff like that. I had no idea there was a Southern Illinois chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're very good friends of ours. We do some joint meetups here and there, and there's a Chicago chapter as well. Those are, I think, the two in Illinois.
where at in Southern Illinois are they based out of, if you will?
They God bless them. They travel. They'll drive hours, some of them, to meet up with each other. I mean, that's how dedicated people are to this organization. You know, that's how good what we offer is. You know, so I think they do a lot of. Every time I've met up with them, it's Alton, Illinois, which is just right across the river.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think they've done some in Collinsville and Redbud. Yeah, they'll go all over. I think they cycle their meetups around to make it easier for certain people.
Okay.
You know, since people drive so far to join, you know.
Cool. Yeah, so mainly Metro East, but I was thinking maybe Marion, Carbondale area. But,
I think they've traveled up there at times.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, great. All right. One of the things too, before we close this out, I do want to mention. Okay, you had mentioned. I apologize. The Justice for Liberty. Now, is that a GoFundMe? Is that?
I don't know if it's a GoFundMe or what, but it's something along those. It's a crowdfunding thing of that sort. 100% of the proceeds go to John Kinsman Jr.'s family to help them. You know, I mean, his wife was pregnant when he went to prison, and you know, so there's this, you know, there's kids without a father right now, and you know, his chapter is doing a lot to step in and, you know, fill the void. And I mean, we always do a lot for each other when, you know, we do a lot of fundraising for each other for situations like legal issues, or you know, if like recently a guy in the Nebraska chapter died actually driving on the way to a meetup. Just tragic. And so, you know, we raised money for his funeral expenses and whatnot. So, but yeah, justiceforliberty.com. Help help that guy's family. The guy got railroaded for defending himself. You know,
all right.
4 years without a father. These poor kids. But his wife is just the most wonderful, strongest woman. She has kept such a positive attitude through this whole thing, and just real inspiration, and
great.
very much worth the cause, worth supporting.
Okay. Well, and now you did mention, was that ProudBoysUSA.com, correct?
Yeah, ProudBoysUSA.com if you want to find your local chapter. I'll tell you also, if there's not a local chapter on there that's anywhere near you, hit up the nearest chapter to you. We're always open to starting new chapters. We'll, you know, the nearest guys to you will meet up with you, and you know, if you can get 7 guys together and people around you, the chapters around you approve, then you may be able to start a chapter yourself.
Well, perfect. Hey, Mike, I appreciate you coming on here. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I have learned so much, just in this, oh, wow, we've actually hit an hour. So,
No kidding.
yeah.
That flew by.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, I've absolutely learned a ton. I mean, you can get on the internet and you can look up, just about everything, but you cannot learn what I just learned here today.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to
right.
to pass along some knowledge to you and your listeners.
Awesome. And like I said, I do have my son does hosting for Biting the Bullet, and hopefully I guarantee you he'll listen to this. So we'll get some people out there, and maybe they could plug that on their podcast. They've got about 1,500 listeners. So
oh, great.
Yeah. So we can get this really going. I mean, hopefully. And my dream someday is to actually be on Joe Rogan, but no, seriously.
Steps,
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'll